In the bustling heart of a foreign land, Jeremy had built a life of success, far from the royal traditions of his home, Avi village, but destiny had other plans. A sudden call shattered his world. His father, King Aditala, was gone. Jeremy rushed back, the weight of a kingdom settling on his shoulders as he stood beside his grieving mother, Queen Adisola, while the palace was cloaked in sorrow. Across the village, a young orphan named Clara lived a life of silent suffering, entrusted to her uncle, the ambitious Chief Abel, his cruel wife Rachel, and their two wicked daughters, Samantha and Jessica. Clara's days were a blur of endless chores and biting mockery, yet she hid her pain behind a quiet, gentle smile, her spirit unbroken. 2 weeks passed. The chiefs gathered, their voices firm. Jeremy, the throne is empty. It is your duty to ascend. Jeremy, a man who craved a simple life, felt the walls of obligation closing in. He reluctantly agreed, but the head chief added a condition that sealed his fate. Before you can sit on the throne, you must get married. A king must not rule alone. Jeremy's heart sank. Trapped by tradition, he had no choice but to accept. News of the royal decree spread like wildfire. Chief Abel saw his golden opportunity. He rushed home, his eyes gleaming with ambition. Girls, listen closely, he commanded his daughters. The prince is coming tonight. Dress in your finest clothes. Smile your sweetest smiles. One of you might just become queen. He then turned with a sneer, ordering his wife to keep Clara out of sight, buried in work. That evening, Jeremy arrived at Chief Abel's home. He was greeted with a performance of perfection. Samantha and Jessica's smiles were too wide, their voices dripping with artificial sweetness. Jeremy, a sharp businessman, sensed the fakery immediately. Their desperate ambition was a foul perfume in the air. Just then, the door creaked open. Clara entered, balancing a heavy bucket of water on her head after a long trip from the stream. Exhausted but graceful, she offered a quiet, respectful greeting. Jeremy's eyes were drawn to her. He saw the fatigue, but beneath it, a flicker of fear. Abel and Rachel's reaction was instant and harsh. Go inside. Do not stand there, they barked, their polite masks slipping to reveal their cruelty. Jeremy's suspicion grew into a certainty. Later, he casually asked Abel about the girl. The chief waved his hand dismissively. Oh, her, that's just Clara, a nobody. I took her in out of pity, he lied, the words sliding off his tongue with practiced ease. But Jeremy knew he was being deceived. The following days were a nightmare of social obligations. The pressure from other chiefs, each parading their daughters before him, was relentless. Jeremy grew weary of the endless parade of fake smiles and calculated kindness. He saw the same greedy ambition in every girl's eyes. One evening, desperate for a moment of peace, he drove out of the palace, leaving the suffocating schemes behind. He parked his car by the village stream, the quiet sounds of nature a balm to his frayed nerves, and then he saw her. It was Clara. He watched from a distance as she went about her own work. Suddenly, she stopped, dropped her own bucket, and rushed to help a struggling pregnant woman lift a heavy load onto her head. There was no audience, no one to impress. It was a simple, quiet act of pure, genuine kindness. It was the most beautiful thing Jeremy had ever seen. Something deep within him stirred. He got out of his car and approached her. As she moved to kneel in respect, he gently stopped her. Please, don't, he said softly. He asked about her life, and for the first time, Clara found a safe space to speak. With a voice that was soft but laced with unshakable strength, she told him her story, the endless labor, the constant abuse, the loneliness. Jeremy listened, his heart aching for her, but his admiration for her resilience soaring. Despite everything she endured, her kindness remained her core. They began meeting in secret by the stream. In Clara's company, Jeremy found a peace he hadn't known was possible. She was humble, wise, and completely uninterested in his title. He found himself falling deeply in love with the person she was, not the prince he was supposed to be. He whispered to himself one night, under the stars, where will I even find someone who will love me for me? Someone who does not care about the throne or the power. He looked at Clara, and he knew. He had found the answer. One afternoon, the dam of his emotions broke. He turned to Clara, his heart in his eyes. Clara, I care about you. Truly, I feel something so strong for you. Tears of disbelief and joy welled in Clara's eyes. I feel the same, she whispered back. In that perfect moment, he pulled her into a gentle embrace, a silent promise passing between them, but they were not alone. Hidden in the bushes, Jessica, Abel's daughter, watched them, her face contorted with rage and jealousy. She ran home, her mind spinning with a wicked plan. She burst into the house, telling her mother what she had seen. Rachel's face hardened. Their path to the throne was being threatened by a mere servant girl. That evening, as Clara returned from another day of grueling chores, Rachel was waiting. She grabbed Clara, shoved her violently into her small dark room, and slammed the lock. You want to spoil our future? She hissed through the door. You will not go anywhere again. Jeremy, meanwhile, was floating on a cloud of happiness. He went straight to his mother, his face glowing. Mother, he announced, I've found her. I have found my queen. He told her all about Clara, her kindness, her strength, her beautiful heart. He decided he would waste no more time. The very next morning, he would go to Chief Abel's house and officially ask for Clara's hand in marriage. The next day, he drove to their secret meeting spot by the stream, his heart pounding with joyful anticipation. But Clara wasn't there. He waited. An hour passed. A knot of worry began to tighten in his stomach. Something was wrong. He sped to Chief Abel's house. The family greeted him with their usual overly sweet fake smiles. "Where is Clara?" Jeremy asked, trying to keep his voice steady. Samantha, quick on her feet, replied with a flawless lie. "She is not around, Your Highness. She went out very early this morning." Jeremy left, but the feeling of unease wouldn't leave him. He returned the next day, and the day after that. For 3 consecutive days, he was met with the same smooth lies and forced smiles. But he started noticing the cracks in their performance, the way their eyes would shift away from his, the nervous twitch in Rachel's smile, the way their politeness felt brittle, ready to shatter. He could feel the deception in his bones. That evening, he returned to the palace, his mind a whirlwind of confusion, anger, and a growing, terrifying fear. He found his mother in her chambers. "Mother," he said, his voice shaking with a dreadful certainty, "I cannot find Clara, and I am absolutely sure Chief Abel's family is hiding something from me." The hunt for his missing queen had just begun. Thanks for watching our story unfold. If you are captivated by Jeremy and Clara's journey, make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. You won't want to miss what happens next. See you in the next video.